everybody? It is OldSillyStick back at it again, and Mario Party. We are small. Oh, geez, I got my buns electrocuted. Does Daisy get those coins? No. Alright, that's nice at least. But now Wario is in the lead. Ooh, he might land on a... Alright, he didn't. Well, there is something I could talk about. It is episode 3. This would be confessing to something mischievous I did, but mayhaps it will make for interesting commentary on OldSillyStick Mario Party 4 playthroughs. You know how it is. I did a Tinder experiment. What do I mean by this? So let me give you some background. Some time ago, I said to myself, I should try online dating. I should use dating apps. Even though I knew that the likelihood of getting a match on a dating app is very low. For anybody, particularly for men. In fact, I think it's often exaggerated, the difference between men and women on dating apps, because women also don't have very high success rates on dating apps, though to be fair, slightly for different reasons. But it's still, in general, usually only the sort of top tier people on dating apps get attention while nobody else does, and that is especially exaggerated for men. But I thought I'd try it, because even if I get one match on a dating app, that's one more match than I would get if I wasn't on it at all. So I tried it for about a week, and it was kind of fun. I think I got a match or two. I was on 3 different ones: Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge. In fact, after I unfortunately lose this minigame, I want to play something really fun. This was from my Hinge profile, because on Hinge you can have audio, and I definitely wanted to have audio on mine. It is, by the way, 3:05 a.m., March 6, 2022. I just want to... And this was really on my dating app. Oh yeah, I'm playing a game. I want to go to that item shop. Oh, now I'm in second place. It might actually give me the magic lamp. Damn. I didn't even get an... There's just nothing here that I want. Absolutely not. I don't want a work plate. I don't want any of this. It's all garbage. I don't even get a booze crystal ball. We're halfway through the game. Nobody has a star. Item shop isn't giving me anything. This is crap. Alright. Okay, this was really on my dating profile.
Scene from Jimmy Neutron.
Oh yeah.
Scene from Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius. He shoots, he scores. Neutron is definitely on. Neutron, what are you doing? I'm walking here. You got a problem with that skateboard boy? Skateboard boy? Whoa, Neutron's got the moves. Well, about next time you get a board that can handle the Neutron style. Later, Nico-Rama.
Apparently, people were not into Jimmy Neutron, because a week later, on Hinge, a screen came up saying, we have a most compatible pick for you. This is one of those things that dating apps do, where they'll give you a taste of what it would be like to have the Plus membership if you paid them some amount of money, because you're probably not going to get any matches unless you are in the top quadrant of people, or if you pay them a lot of money, and even then you might not get any. But I was really rather insulted by who they said my most compatible match was. Now look, I'm modest enough to recognize I am not the most amazing, attractive, interesting guy in the world. I come pretty close, but I'm not the best in the West. But I would have at least thought I could get a woman in my own age bracket. But the algorithm of Hinge says, nay. Nay, nay, nay. Your most compatible match is a 51-year-old woman. A 51-year-old woman named Tina. This is who the dating app said, look, buddy, this is a woman for you. This is the best you're gonna get. 51. I am in my early 20s. I thought an average-looking guy, but apparently, according to a dating app, I belong with a 51-year-old woman. Who, by the way, I didn't notice this until afterwards. I took a few screenshots of the profile. That's what I'm looking at now, just to have this in my memory. One picture in particular is of her falling asleep on a lawn chair. Okay, but then I noticed there's one picture it's her with two 20-something-year-old boys, and they kind of look like me. And they look like her sons in the picture. So, well, I mean, first of all, why would I even get this 51-year-old woman? To be clear, on a dating app, you get to choose the range of ages that you're after. My age range was not in the 50s. So they shouldn't have even been showing me this profile in the first place. But then, this could mean, I guess I can't know because the app didn't respect my age limit, but this woman could be a woman seeking out 20-something guys at the age of 51. And furthermore, since we're most compatible, she's looking for 51-year... She's 51. She is looking for someone 30 years younger than her who looks like her son. That's who she is scouring for on this dating app. Apparently, or that's who Hinge thinks she needs in her life. But after this was the moment when I gave up on dating apps. I was not doing very well. I did okay, but you know, I wasn't doing that well. What can I say? I thought I've been spending a fair amount of time on this, at least an hour, 2 hours a day, swiping through profiles, not to mention creating the profile. Oh, fuck. Alright, I gotta use one of my mini mushes. But it's probably not gonna give me anything good, but I don't even know what to do at this point. Just get coins. Oh, actually, things may be heating up. And not just because we're in lava, or because we're talking about Tinder. But anyways, I started looking stuff up, and I found some interesting statistics. And this is not, because you'll find a lot of garbage, totally false, fabricated things about the algorithms of dating apps and the likelihood of getting matches. But some of these, there was one in particular, the study was taken down from the website, but you can find references to it in multiple articles of a 2017 study conducted by Hinge, posted on the Hinge blog, which said that, I'm blanking on the numbers now, but I think about, I think the top 10% of men get 58 of the likes. And I looked at that and said, well, I don't think I'm in the top 10%, so it's really, the chances of me actually getting a match, especially comparative to the cost of either swiping repeatedly on the app or paying or whatever, is just not worth it. But, you know, I found some other stuff. I like to look on, I don't remember where I was at, but, you know, I found something eventually and some advice that said, you know, think about what it'd be like on a dating app from the woman's perspective, because it's often said that women on dating apps just have so many matches that you just get lost in the pile. It's impossible to really focus on all of them. And I was curious about this. And by the way, I should be clear, the inequality in dating apps is true for women. It's less, but I think the top 10% of women got about 48% of the likes. So there definitely is still inequality there. Has it really been 5 turns? Nothing has been happening. I'm just gonna keep going on. We'll do a double. Oh, okay. It's not yet, actually. We have... I might make this a double episode, though, because I want to continue with my story. Yeah, but, so I wanted to know what it'd be like to be an attractive girl on Tinder. Now, in hindsight, I'm not sure how ethical this was, and it's partly why, as we'll go on, I stopped pretty quickly. Oh, he's in some interesting place. But I was thinking, okay, I want to know what it's like. I want to just see from their point of view, from an attractive girl's, and conventionally attractive, I should highlight, what it would be like to be on Tinder. So, at first I thought I would find a stock photo of a girl, say in a bikini or something, and post her on Tinder. But then I thought, no, it'll be too obvious that I'm catfishing. I need something to make me look legitimate. So, and in hindsight, I don't think I should have done this, but I was doing it for research. I took the images from a profile of a real girl out there in my area. She was in my top. There's something called top picks on Tinder. Here are the top picks in the area. So I picked one of them that had about 4 images. One of them. So the reason why, to be blunt, that I think this girl was a top pick was because of her ample chest. I want to note this because this is interesting. You could not tell anything about her personality from her profile. And I'm not saying this to imply that she doesn't have a personality. I don't think that's true. But just from the pictures, I mean, on Tinder you can put, I think, about 5 hobbies down, and she did do that, but they're so small, and I don't think people even look at them. She did not have a bio. There was one picture of her. It was a mirror pic. Then there was a second mirror pic. The first one was more torso. The second one was more full body. Then there was a pic of her face. And then there was a pic of her with who appeared to be a friend. And none of the locations were very interesting. You had no sense of what, besides the 5 interests that nobody looks at. You didn't really know what her interests were. You didn't know what she was studying. You didn't know what her job was. You didn't know what her aspirations were. You didn't know what she was looking for in a relationship. You didn't know anything. Nothing about her besides her appearance. But this is the girl I picked, so I thought, okay, let's see. I'm gonna go on the app as this girl and see what it's like. And I knew that I would get many matches, but I was shocked at just how many matches I got. Within the first few minutes, within the first minute, I think I got 40 likes. And then within the first few minutes, I got over 99 likes. I couldn't see how many likes I had after that. And then as I was swiping through, and I had just been on the app for maybe half an hour, I was already getting matches. I was already matching. I had been messaged within an hour by 4 guys. And I had over a dozen matches. And this is the first time. This is a completely new profile. And I had already gotten this much success. I could not believe how fast it was. But then, you know, it was interesting to see, because I took on the role of being a girl. I tried to think, you know, how do I feel about these guys? What am I looking for? And first of all, I gotta say, sometimes some of the stuff that guys put on there I just don't think is that great. There are 2 men's profiles with the bio, women can't live with them, can't live without them. And I said to myself, well, honey, you can live without me, okay? What is this supposed to do? Is this negging? Is this what that is? Because this is just not appealing to me, okay, to do this. Oh, can't live with him, can't live without him, you know, give me a break. One guy claimed to be the master of back shots, which I thought was inappropriate. And, you know, other guys, I don't mind people posting their heights on dating profiles, but when they make a thing of it, like, oh, I'm 6'4", if it matters. 6'2". What else would they say? You know what it is, or something. I don't know. But to make some sort of comment, just put the height and say nothing, is my recommendation. Right. Don't say because it matters or it doesn't. Oh, fuck my ass. That's not what I said on the app. But I guess I wouldn't have gotten any good items anyways. At this point, I'll just go for coins. Yeah, and I think it made me realize the reason that I think dating is so hard in the dating app age is as you're scrolling through all these profiles, it's really hard for anyone to be unique, for anyone to be an individual, because they all just look the same. All these guys, all the guys I matched with were interchangeable. They were, frankly, disposable. They're just all like the same sort of look. Nothing about any of them stood out. I think this is the hard thing, is you can't really stand out. But that's what you need. That's what love is this person stands out to me. But none of these profiles, none of these people, and maybe they would if I knew them, if I had a chat with any of these young men, or saw them in real life, one of them might have stood out, but not on a dating app. It's just impossible to separate yourself from the crowd. So I think that really changes the way people view relationships. And then it was funny too, because I started chatting with some of my suitors, and it's amazing how hard these guys try to have a conversation from nothing. I mean, I tried to give them as little as possible, just kind of generically responding, and they would act as though I were the most interesting person in the world, when I know I'm not. I'm just not. You know, one guy was an exchange student and kept telling me about how much better Europeans are. Just they're better, and I would ask, better at what? And they'd just say, oh, better at everything. Wink. Implying that Europeans are better at sex. I don't know if that's true, and I thought that was a very odd move, but it must be the move that works for him. I assume that this isn't his first time using the line, so I guess girls fall for it. I don't know. Do I want to use my mini? Oh wait, maybe I'll go through that pipe. But yeah, then there was another guy. Was there anything else that was interesting? One guy. There was one thing I was thinking of doing. I chickened out of doing is as I was doing this, I asked myself, why am I doing this? And I felt that in my heart I was doing it because I was frustrated with my experience on dating as I was talking to these men who were thinking that they were talking to a real guy. And one guy, the European guy that I was talking about, the first thing he said was, I'm serious, what bar can I see you at? Which I thought was rather presumptuous, that I would be going to a bar and that I would want to meet him. But he kept saying, you know, what bar are you going at? And I thought, you know, I could tell this guy that I was going to be at a bar. I said, I might be here. And then he would show up and be disappointed. I thought I could do that as a prank, but then my heart said no, I shouldn't do that. That's unfair to this person. And then there was another guy I was thinking about, and I'll admit, I was very tempted to do this just to see. Okay, hold on, let me focus. Whether he would follow through with this. I was setting him up. So at one point, he said something like, are you doing anything fun tonight? And I said, I don't even know what I said. I said, that depends, are you fun? I think was my line. And he said, yeah, I'm the most fun. He said that I'm the most fun. And I said, what do you like to do for fun? And he replies, one word, beers. And then I reply, I like chess. Do you like chess? And he replies, sure, though I'm more of a checkers guy, I suppose. I'm surprised he even replied to that, but then I was so close to replying, I will let you come over if you beat me in a game of chess. I'll play white, e4. And just to see whether this horny dude would actually play chess to score some coochie. I just wanted to know. I wanted to try it out, but I decided at that point, as I was messaging these guys, as I was thinking through, what do I want to do with my time? I decided no, this isn't right. And in fact, oh my gosh, I haven't even mentioned the strangest thing. This is one of those moments where I think that there's some sort of storyteller, some great creator who has a funny sense of humor. I saw the profile of a guy who catfished me in freshman year of high school. One time in English class, when I was 14, a profile on Twitter with a girl's picture was messaging me. And I didn't really, it didn't go that far with it, but we talked for a little bit. She said, oh, you're funny, and I said thanks or something. I was kind of scared to be texting in class. I thought I was going to get caught, so I was trying to not message so much. But of course, I was a young boy, and I kind of wanted to see what she had to say. But she kept saying, oh, I want to tell you something, or I want to show you something. Can I send you a pic? And I guess at some point I just said, okay, fine. And then the picture that this profile sent was of this boy. I will call him Brutus. And smiling with his buddy. And I realized that I had just been victim to a prank. Now, to be fair, I maybe should have seen this coming because the Twitter profile had just been created that day and only had 3 tweets posted just a few minutes ago on the entire account, one of which was, I like apples. So perhaps I was slightly naive, though maybe I wanted to believe that it was real. But I saw this guy. Oh, shit. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I lost. That's so embarrassing. I was so close, too. But I saw him. Now, he had yet to match with me. I don't know whether if I had if I had the profile on for the night, whether he would have matched with me. But I do remember thinking this would be amazing if I could get him back for that thing that happened freshman year of high school. But then I realized that it just isn't worth it to do that. That's not really... I guess, can I use... Oh, I can't use an item. Oh! Well, that was pretty lucky. I think I want to go to Daisy. Oh, shoot. How does it work? I think I want to press it on Wario. And then, damn it. I should have pressed it on Waluigi. It's the one before. Alright. So it goes. But anyways, I decided I should let it go. That would be the best thing. But that was an interesting experience, though. I'm glad I had it, just to see what it was like. But I felt that, you know... Because I knew in my heart that none of my suitors really liked me. That they just... They didn't... Not even really sexually, in some sense. It's not as if they thought I was the most beautiful girl in the world. But just... That I was good enough. That I just had a nice pair of tits. And that was enough to get them off, you know. I wasn't anything special. And that felt kind of sad, I have to admit. So it did increase my empathy. which is always nice. But I decided to delete my account about an hour after making it. I basically ghosted the guys I was talking to. I felt I shouldn't reveal it to them. I wouldn't want to embarrass them like that. They could be watching this video, in which case, how's it going? But, yeah, it's something to think about. It's very hard, because we've actually been talking about this in one of my classes, that young people just aren't dating as much now. And this was even before COVID-19, but I think, and there's many reasons for this. You can talk about pornography, dating apps, and just the general stress. Honestly, people are working more, there's more pressure in school or work. People are depressed and anxious, they have bad self-image, and all these things just make them less eager to put themselves out there. But also, I think it's hard to know where to meet people. There's times when you could just approach somebody, a stranger, and start talking to them, but that's not considered appropriate anymore. We don't really do that, just going up to somebody, a total stranger, and saying hi. I mean, even if we weren't trying to date them, just in general, we don't really talk to strangers, but especially to a stranger of the opposite sex. If a guy were to talk to a girl he didn't know, it might be seen as creepy or weird or uncalled for, just bothersome, annoying, whatever. But the point is, right, okay, so in those sorts of spaces in which it's not obvious that somebody wants to be asked out, then we shouldn't do that. But then the place where dating is salient, like dating apps, is a place that just isn't very successful at matching people up. Speaking of matching, what's this game? This looks pretty fun. And I think we all play, right? I don't think I get to pick. Let's see what happens. Okay. I wish I had gotten this game. Oh, there's a Bowser panel. So what happens at this point? Wario has won. Bowser falls. Okay. It's nice we got to show off these two games, even though I lost mine. Let's see. Wario. Okay, he moves and then doesn't lose coins. That's about it. Okay. Not too exciting. But that's it. With my hot girl Tinder experiment. I don't know that I have anything else to say about it. I'm not going to do dating apps anymore because and one thing I found out, there's a company called, I think it's called Match Company, that has pretty much a monopoly on dating services. They own Tinder, OkCupid, Hinge, Plenty of Fish, and more. There's just this one company that basically, because the thing is, they're incentivized for you to keep using the app, to keep scrolling, to pay to use the services. I don't want to pay. I'm a cheap bastard. So I just don't trust it. I'm suspicious in general of social media or application companies. I don't use TikTok, for example, because I think it's designed to make people addicted, as well as other social media. I make some exceptions for Instagram, but that's a whole nother story, because I won't get into that. that'll be my little secret. But anyways, yeah. But I was thinking about it. I don't know if I want to get into this. I guess I might as well. I will say, I don't have any... Well, I talked about pornography already. Because I thought about the idea of of hooking up, right? And I realized, well, let's say that I was not interested. Because there's two cases, right? Either I'm looking for something romantic, or I'm looking for something just sexual, right? And it's fine to want something that's just sexual. I confess. I'm a sexual being. But I thought to myself, well, wait a minute. What's the point of seeking out a hookup partner anyways? Going through all the time and energy to find someone just to have sex with them and nothing else, when you could just hire a sex worker. So I had this thought. Wait a minute. Because sure, you have to pay, right? But then, as any economist will tell you, nothing's free. There's a cost, right, to using dating apps. You have to scroll through, and you have to try and be seductive, and you might have to pay to use the app, or if you go to a bar or a club, frat party, if you're a guy, you have to pay. You have to pay for drinks. Even it doesn't have to even be her drinks. Just pay for your own stuff. If you go to dinner or something. So there is all a cost to this. And there's an uncertainty. You don't know whether even if you were to talk to somebody, you're going on a date with somebody, whether it would work out. There's a greater certainty with hiring a sex worker. You know what you're paying, right? But then I thought, well, wait a minute. At that point, why would I pay for someone to give me an orgasm when I can just do it myself? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Self-reliance. I get to save my money and orgasm. Now, I know that doesn't entail everything that somebody would want. I mean, you could try to squeeze your own butt cheek, but it's not going to really work. But you do get a relief there, where you're no longer horny after you ejaculate. So then at that point, I realized that hooking up just doesn't make sense at all. Why would you... I mean, at least to me, and maybe if it was easy to do, to find a hookup partner, I, as this story has made clear, have not found it very easy. So I decided it didn't really make any sense. But as for romance, I'm not sure. Because I think if I were to fall in love with somebody, I would want them to stand out. But as I have discussed, nobody really has stood out to me. Oh well. But that's it for Mario Party 4. Pretty interesting personal episode. But maybe inspiring. Maybe relatable. In any case, this is mostly for me. It's pretty much all just for me. One day I'll watch it and think, oh ho ho. What do you know? But it's just fascinating to think of myself as a product of my generation, of what's happening now in the world. I don't know. But I think the moral of the story is, I think what I really do want is love. Because I think a lot, especially post-sexual revolution, there's been a lot of media portraying hooking up as glamorous. But it just doesn't seem worth it to go out and have sex with somebody if it doesn't mean anything. Because you don't need another person to... I mean, you shouldn't... Your sexual well-being shouldn't depend on somebody else. I do think that the self-reliance there is important. You know what you're getting, and you don't have to worry about making someone else feel uncomfortable, or even worry about either pleasuring them, which could be inconvenient, or about taking advantage of them, right? Because if I were to have sex with somebody I would want to, I would feel bad if I was the only one being pleasured. But I gotta admit, I'm kind of selfish, at the end of the day. So I just Yeah. I think but I'm also not totally, I don't want to completely isolate just for the sake of some ideals. I think that if I did meet somebody, that I could fall in love with them. I'm not sure who that would be, though. But then how do you find someone? Right? I don't think it'd be through dating apps. I just think that the dating app format is not conducive to finding a unique person, somebody who would stand out from the crowd that you'd want to fall in love with. But the people that I meet, and I do go out sometimes, but people that I meet just don't do it for me. Oh. But I guess that's all I have to say for now. Are there any interesting quotes I have to read? I haven't even talked about it. I've been reading Bhagavad Gita. I've been going to the library. Let's check out, what do we even have here? Present room, minigame. Let's play a frickin' minigame. Why not? For most of my life, well, at least the part of my life when I started reading, I've been buying every book that I read instead of going to the library, because at the time it was kind of cool to have my own little collection of books, but now... Oh, I see. This isn't the special. I don't want these. I want the special ones. Isn't there a special room where you play special minigames? That's what I want to play. Let's see. Extra room. That's what I want. Extra, read all about it. But I've been going to the library recently because I've realized just how expensive buying books is. And honestly, it makes very little sense to buy our own books. Because I have a whole bookshelf of books right above my head that I have not touched at all. It's frankly kind of a waste of money to buy them, because most books I just don't need to have beside me at all times. And some I probably will never read again. The book purchase I always think of when I think of a bad decision was buying Naked Lunch by William S. Burroughs. And I bought it because on the back of the book, a quote from Jack Kerouac compared it... What is any of these? Challenge Book Squirm. That's what I want to do. Hell yeah. Compared Burroughs to Swift, Stern, and Rabelais, who were some of my favorite writers. I thought, oh my gosh, I have to read this. But that book, I was not a fan. I did not like it. Similarly, I should not have bought Infinite Jest. I think I only read about 70 pages of it. It's not very interesting. I kind of liked the passage about the addict, but that was about it. But I've been getting books from the library, and one of them is Bhagavad Gita, which is pretty nice. I'm a fan of it. It's a little book with a lot of knowledge. Now, that's not to say I like everything in it, but I think some of it's pretty cool. In general, because for a long time I was interested in the idea of great books. What are the greatest books of human civilization? Right? If you could only choose 10 books, or you could only choose a few books to have with you, and this is what some people have done. Right? People coming to America often only had the Bible and Shakespeare, or just the Bible. And that was it. Those are the only books that they had. And obviously there's some... That's not all good. Right, there's a symptom now called word poverty. People who have access to few books. But I think if you have a great book, or a few books that you read continuously and thoughtfully, that you do have a deeper connection to it and appreciate it and really understand it. But there is something nice about having some special books. Though you also should, I think, read other books. This sort of... What are any of these? Hop in a robot. Fine. But yeah. I guess that's it. I don't know that I have anything else really interesting to say. But Bhagavad Gita's good. I have some other books that I've been wanting to read. It is 3:42 a.m. Stomp-a-stomp. It's pretty mean. What are these Goombas? This is a mean minigame. These Goombas didn't do anything. This has been 40 minutes. I think I've said everything that I need to say at this point. I'm not a fan of the caste system, though maybe it has some good figurative purposes if you want to think of it in a way of sort of how Plato's Republic is just a metaphor for the self or something. Maybe the caste system is, but I'm pretty sure it's not all figurative. But ultimately, there's some passage I like. Maybe we'll end it with that. Let me see if I can find it. This is the Stephen Mitchell translation. I'm not sure if it's the best, but it's one of the easiest to read. I thought it was pretty good for a first read. But this one's kind of interesting. It is better to do your own duty badly than to perfectly do another's. Something about doing your duty. Or, I'm not sure if I can find the quote, but Bhagavad Gita talks a lot about doing the action without caring about the fruits of the action. To just do what you're supposed to do regardless of the consequences. Which I think is an interesting idea, but then the question is, what are we supposed to do if we're not just supposed to do whatever leads to good consequences? I don't know. Maybe, I mean, I still feel like talking, but also I'm not sure if I feel like talking long enough to do a whole board. I might start Mario Party 2. If I want to. Who's gonna stop me? Nobody. We'll see. Either I'm gonna play Mario Party 2, or I'm not. That's called bifurcation.